And hello, everyone, in UmbraCoffee episode 239. Good morning, Lars-Erik. How are you?
Good morning, Marcin. Thanks for yesterday. I'm not sure if it's allowed, but I must say I'm fairly hungover, so it was a very good meetup yesterday.
Yeah, I was just thinking we should probably pre-record it yesterday and just play it from the recording today and just have fun still. That would be probably one of the options because we are both in Norway now.
Indeed.
And so that's of course in different locations at the moment, but that's where we are. So that's why not to talk about Norway. We had a meetup yesterday, and Warren just mentioned that Callum got a bird. Callum is on the boat. Callum is also properly enjoying the Umbraco spirit, but on a boat. I'm sure he is watching, or at least he will be re-watching at some point. So cheers, Callum. But yeah, we are in Norway, and we had a meetup. I'm in the same room as we were here yesterday. Yeah, this is the same presenter. We were giving the talks. And Lars-Erik, you've been doing a talk. I've been doing a talk. It was your first talk after the pandemic.
It
How
was.
you would summarize the reborn activity around the speaking and meetups and Umbraco in general for
I
you?
hope we can do way more. Hopefully, we can try to do some hybrid stuff as well. But being back talking physically was super awesome, and we almost had a record. We were 15 people, and that's
Yeah.
the record we have from before. Had we been one more, then it would have been a record. So that's super nice.
Yeah, the bar is raised then high, and we still have
It is.
a good opportunity to make it happen. But yeah, it was. I was surprised again. We've been co-organizing this meetup, and we were been co-speaking as well at it. But it was really good to see so many people being curious and interested about Umbraco, and we are looking for more. That's the thing usually, and it's definitely not the last one. I mentioned it on Twitter probably that I missed it completely. I missed the public speaking part, the
Mhm.
organization part, the community part, and we've been all attending some of the events already, but it's never enough, I would say, for the people who love attending events like
For
this,
sure.
right?
I'm
So
a
yeah.
week or so. I'm going back to college university again, teaching physically, which is will
Nice.
be the first time in since before the pandemic. We've got 2 years of recordings on YouTube, so at least we have that. We don't have to
Yeah,
record the lecture.
legacy, the true legacy. But that's
But I'm
awesome.
sure
And
some
Lars,
reading.
you've been talking about testing yesterday, of course, and integration testing. You showed some Excel. Could you summarize the topic for our viewers, and maybe for the someone who will consider listening to it at maybe any further meetups at some point?
Yeah, for sure. As I was saying, unit testing is getting fun again with Umbraco 9 and newer. Though I tried bumping my sample from yesterday to version 10 today, and it actually doesn't work. The tests won't work. So we got a new small hurdle to jump over, but I'm sure it's a minor detail
Hmm.
versus how it was in the older days. Um, and the content cache is pretty much stubbable with JSON now. So I showed this example where you can author the content for your tests using Excel and then run some Power Query and get your JSON for the content for the tests. And then you use models builder models and the content cache and all that stuff. So that's super
That,
nice to be able to do on Umbraco 9 at least. And then we'll see
yeah.
if I can bump it to 10.
Yeah, that was really nice, and still there was a lot of this. There were a lot of discussions after all about how it can be used, how how Excel is powerful as well in generating JSON content,
Yeah,
and yeah, what can be done next. Cool. I was talking about enterprise of Raga, and as I said, I should wear a tie then, but I wasn't wearing a tie. But generally, it was also a discussion about how Umbraco fetches to the whole ecosystem of CMSs. Is it enterprise ready? And how we as a kind of developers, agencies, and people who use it make it available for also bigger projects and bigger companies. And again, that's a topic that interested me recently a lot, and I hope that it was a useful gathering of the data that can help for people to understand why some things are happening and how we can also align with the market in general.
I thought quite a few of those G2 quadrants that you showed were quite interesting. with regards to where Umbraco is, where other Martech software is, and yeah, they're really making a run for it.
Yeah,
They're going up there
exactly.
in all of the quadrants. So
And we can just help to achieve more for Umbraco. But yeah, that's
mm.
good. And speaking about Umbraco, we can dive to the news and product update also from the Umbraco perspective. Let me just jump to where is my another window? Yeah, this is the picture of you talking. Lars-Erik. That's
Yeah, I'm
some.
trying to remember what I was so excited about.
It was just the beginning with the title, but yeah, that was really good. And yeah, it's a legacy on Twitter as well. But the product topic I wanted to mention, and again, it relies very much with the vision, the mission, and everything what Umbraco is and was doing and will be doing, because there is a lot of new things. A lot of new things for cloud as well. So dedicated resources, for example, in case of the need of more heavy consumptions of the resources, seasonal spikes, and business critical applications that might need some more from the cloud. Right now,
Speaking of enterprise, yeah.
yeah, it's going close to the enterprise levels, and I can't remember where. Yeah, dedicated resources is currently available for projects on professional and enterprise plans. So yeah, that's one another pros of being enterprise, because we can then use the dedicated resources. But yeah, I scanned through that, and it looks really interesting. And of course, we've been talking about this feature for a while, and now we can test it out and play with it, and generally also make the cloud projects more performant and also more flexible, because we can step out from just this basic tier and take it to the higher level. That's cool, and definitely it will be tested and used and explored. I know that Umbraco team is also working on multiple more flexible dedicated tiers, but still it's a work in progress. So we'll probably highlight it separately. Other than that, there is a new release of Umbraco Forms. 10.1 with improved workflow functionality and some other improvements and included upgrades from the recently explored stuff. But the interesting thing that I wanted to highlight here is that this is a note for us all that this is because the release was for 10.1 and 9.5 and 8.13, and these are both the last planned minor releases for Umbraco 8 and 9. So whoever is relying heavily on forms and wants to get more features and more upgrades, more things, probably also needs to consider upgrading to the latest Umbraco, or newer Umbraco at least, to get advantage of having the update still released.
If we get those tests working again, then 9 to 10 should just be a breeze to upgrade, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's, in theory, in many cases, it was a very seamless update. But of course, from 8 to 9 and beyond, it might be a little bigger project. So just keep an eye on that. And if someone relies on Forms and wants to, have these features, because there are all exciting features coming to Forms now, yeah, they will be only worked against the newer Umbraco version. And one, yeah,
seems quite exciting.
Yeah, that's true. An upcoming release, something what we've been also seeing from the Code Garden even earlier. It's a new regional hosting options for cloud, and this is starting from US region, and it lets project creators to decide where the project will be hosted. So especially for the projects located closer to the US market, it will be beneficial for the performance and the data security and everything else included in that. And we can play with that as well now, even for free. And last but not least, probably what I wanted to mention is UI library release. And Lars-Erik, did you have a chance to play with a UI library so far?
I haven't. I've only seen demos, but it seems quite nice. And from what I've heard, they're doing everything right. I attended that talk about the UI library at Code Garden, which was quite interesting to see how they trimmed everything down. It's almost native. There's this little library that they use behind the scenes, but other than that, it's all native and nice. It's going to be. Hopefully it's going to live longer than the Angular stuff did, even though it almost almost lasted for 10 years.
Yeah, what I wanted to say, initial release of it was back in November 2021. So it's been a while. And also we've seen Umbraco adopting the UI library already in some of the projects, some of the work done on their side. So it's not something new. It's just right now finalized, and the version 1 is maybe just the beginning of the more advanced and more extended set of elements that all of us can reuse, because all of the package creators, people who wanted to make Umbraco-like experiences within Umbraco, they can benefit from it and unify it to a standardized way, which is always good, right?
Sure. And I also like that they kind of let it mature before they actually start using it in Umbraco, which is ultimately the goal, but it's going through all these QA things and being tested and experimented with. So it gets all that quality even before they start using it, and that's quite interesting.
Yeah. So just to mention, the targeted release is for August 22nd, and we can all benefit from the stable final 1.0 release, and we definitely will explore it and highlight it many more. Patch releases for deploy and CMS, as we've mentioned for some of it. All the patches were rolled out, and they are all right now available on NuGet, and cloud projects will receive them on August 23rd. From what it states here on this blog post. And some updates to the roadmap at the end of that. New things in now, regional hosting, payments provider, and customizable projects overview. And I can't remember now, to be honest, but I remember that we've been highlighting some of the community work. Now I can't remember if it was Ronald or Patrick. Someone did some cool dashboard hacks for Umbraco Cloud. And now it seems like Umbraco is hacking the overview as it was promised. So all of the people who were saying that the dashboard is not having all of the details can now see more, and it will be, of course, worked on now. The target release is in third quarter of this year. But yeah, it's changing, right? It is changing rapidly. And this is from the product update. So check it out if anyone missed anything from that one. And we can jump to the project, to the package releases, starting from Skybrat, Umbraco Redirect release 4.0.1. And this is new release for Umbraco 10. And what's worth mentioning, it's another package that updated the package to a Razer class library. So yeah, that's really awesome. We've been discussing about Razer class libraries yesterday here as well. But this means that all of the assets served virtually from the NuGet package. That's all the benefits of RCLs and everything what it gives now visible and possible inside of the very popular and still a great package for redirects management in Umbraco 10. So check it out. The next one on the list is a simple redirects package from Patrick. It's version 3.1 and one more version, if I'm correct, for the previous version of Umbraco. So yeah, 2 new configuration options to ignore query strings, preserve query strings, and some smaller hacks and changes. And we can all check it out. And if we are using this package, definitely upgrade to the latest. Another one is from Marcus for his package called Newsletter Studio. And Marcus created a new installation wizard, which is looking like that. So we can choose which version of Umbraco we want to install the package for, and then it will either go to NuGet or display us the information how to install this package. And I don't know if it's inspired by the script writer package from Paul Seal, but it looks cool. To be honest, I haven't seen so many of this installation wizards for the .NET packages. Have you seen any, Lars?
No, not outside the NuGet site, but it looks super slick and user friendly, welcoming. I would install.
Yeah.
I was just wondering whether that package, the Newsletter Studio package, it must be one of the oldest and longest lived packages out. I think Marcus have had this since I started with Umbraco, at least.
Definitely. It was for version 4. I remember that, even though. So yeah, and still updated, still modernized, right? And then still commercialized as well. So good stuff.
But
But yeah, it looks amazing again, especially for people who are using different Umbraco versions. As I've been switching machines to macOS, and I've seen this a lot on the software downloads. Right, you can download it for Windows, for macOS, and that's important to choose the right version because it can fail, right, and break. So same here. If people want to just have newsletters from Umbraco and they know what version they use, they can do it themselves. But that's just an improvement way of getting the package done. So big kudos to Marcus for sharing it. The next one is from Corne. We've been talking about his side project called Umbraco Discord bot. And now it's got updated. He refactored some of the common structure for the package. There's more async stuff, more dependency injection, more everything. But Corne is actively working on the package, and he also teased us with this week, in this week, with some additions for response tokens that will come back to Discord, if I'm correct. Yeah, it will be a response it's going to be sent for the specific command, I assume. Still hacking, still doing a lot of magic for Discord. Callum would definitely like it if he will be on Discord, but that's a great work, great hacking. Lars-Erik, do you use Discord? Are you on Discord for the Umbraco or any other project?
I'm on Discord, but I'm mostly lurking, and then I'm an avid user of the Wordle channel. So that's where you can find me. You'll see one chat per day with my Wordle.
That's good. That's more than
I'm
I do.
always online, so if anyone wants to chat, just ping me. Yeah, Discord.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Yep, and that's around the new releases. There were some meetups and activities happening. There was a barbecue last week in London, and I saw people competing in ping pong. So that went really great. And I think that when Callum will be back, he will also summarize the barbecues in general. And then there are also still some of it upcoming. Meetup-wise, we've had this Oslo meetup, of course, this week and yesterday, but there is still a Copenhagen meetup happening on August 24th with Martin and Mikkel talking about Umbraco Cloud Evolution, and Sebastian will talk about pull requests. So 13 attendees already signed up. Check it out if you're around. The next one is barbecue hosted by Callum. That was happening August 12th. I needed to remove it, but this one is the next one. It's in Leeds on August 26th. So next Friday, if I'm correct. Yeah, that one. And last but not least, still on the roadmap and the calendar map for this month. At the end of the month, Umbraco Wessex Umbraco Meetup Group is organizing a meetup and still hybrid. So possibility to join from both online and offline accesses. And yeah, the agenda is happening. Vite is the next generation front build tool. Yeah, it will be about Vite and Umbraco. So that's exciting.
I certainly need to learn more about Vite, so I might actually join that one. Looks interesting.
What is Vite? I haven't heard about it, to be honest.
Yet another wrapper around Webpack, I guess.
Okay. That sounds like a new framework for doing stuff.
It's like somebody else's attempt at parcel.
Okay, that explains a lot, but it sounds interesting, and I saw that this is trending to the right direction of popularity of it as well. After that, so worth checking it out. Segment for pull request of the week. I was messaged by Michael before the live here because the pull request and the feature started by Patrick on January 14th, allowing us to copy data types, was finally merged today to Umbraco after a long discussion and after a very, very nice discussion about improvements, hows and whys. So yeah, congrats, Patrick, for making this addition, and we will all definitely use it a lot and love it, and it really works well. So that's kudos to Patrick.
Super.
Yep, pull request of the week. Another celebration. I think should end this episode with celebrations because kudos goes to Lee, and we've been talking about Lee yesterday as well. Content Man and all the packages involvements and knowledge being shared by Lee. And here Lee found out that his Content Man package and assembly only core dependency reached nearly 250,000 downloads on NuGet.
Crazy.
That's
But
amazing.
it's super useful. I guess it's only a question of time before it's in the core. Anything
Yes.
Lee makes, it just takes a few years and then it's in core.
Yeah.
Just a
And
question of time.
I mentioned it yesterday. It will definitely help enterprise clients as well because they have different data sources, different needs. So yeah, in comparison to that, keep up the good work, Lee. And as you can see here, all aggregated NuGet download count is nearly 2 million. That's a huge number, and we all love numbers. So let's celebrate this big number. So congrats, Lee. And still, question is for all of you, all of us, is our downloads are included within these numbers? Because if someone still didn't check it, I often say that, yeah, you need to do that, because that's changes the game on how data types can be flexibly extended, I would say. So yeah, congrats, Lee. Serious.
I saw regarding NuGet numbers, I saw James Newton King, the author of Newtons of JSON, tweeted the other day that if you looked at his download stats for Newtons of JSON using the NuGet Explorer application, this client application, he now has negative 2 million downloads.
That's another accomplishment, right? So
Yeah.
But sometimes people are hacking NuGet because if you are building, for example, Umbraco Cloudflare package, the Cloudflare keyword within the package name makes the people who are looking for Cloudflare stuff interested, and they are checking, they're downloading. Even they are not checking if there's Umbraco prefix to that sometimes. And I can't remember, it was Ali's package back in the days for Cloudflare. Indeed, he released a package on Wednesday, and on Friday it had couple thousands of downloads, and he didn't mention it anywhere, right? So we said, oh shit, that's a really popular package then, right? So that we can hack NuGet, but I'm sure that Lee is not hacking. Lee is just doing an amazing job. So yeah. And Warren is asking how the negative number was possible. No, he was in negative numbers, wasn't he?
He was in negative, so the integer overflowed. It went around.
Indeed, so too much downloads. Stop. Newtons of JSON no longer available for all of us. Cool. Next is from Paul. Paul released 3 videos, if I would summarize correctly. So he's definitely on fire. Part 5. It's still a series on how to build a website with Umbraco 10. So very amazing, very useful series. And part 5 is about main navigation. And if I'm correct, the part 6 is about nested content version of the navigation. And part 7 is on setting up the using and working with content transfer. So that's the great series. And again, someone mentioned it to me this week that it was the main source of the knowledge on how to work with Umbraco. Just speed it up, go through the check it polls and do it yourself. Great stuff, Paul, and keep them coming. Keep them coming, definitely, because everyone is benefiting from watching them.
Everybody go buy Paul a coffee on his Patreon or whatever.
Why are you not subscribed to Paul's channel? That's interesting. I needed to subscribe, of course. And if you are not subscribing on umbraCoffee, do the same. Check it out. Maybe YouTube unsubscribed me, because I'm sure I was subscribing Paul's channel. That's interesting. Yeah, check out if you are not unsubscribed, unfortunately, from Paul's or umbraCoffee's channels, and just hit subscribe. That's worth it. Dennis, why this is not available? Oh, that's interesting. So Twitter broke something for me. I wanted to say that Dennis achieved 100% in the performance score in front-end performance analysis, and he mentioned it. I don't know, a couple months ago, that he had 99% of the performance, and he will be aiming to get this 1% complete. This is the tweet I wanted to share. So yeah, 18 months ago, he wrote an article how he got 99, and now he has 100%. So why I wanted to mention it is because we all often forgot about this 1% change, but this 1% change might be a huge change in the performance and in overall. So congrats, Dennis, and again, 100% A score in the performance overview. Very good for Web Vitals. Amazing stuff. And of course, it's Umbraco
Are
Cloud
there
site to be
any
mentioned.
images on that front page?
Sorry?
Are there any images on that front page?
Any content? Is there any content on the page? No, it's his blog, so I'm sure there is a content. But the interesting fact is, I've been mentioning this performance on my yesterday talk about general importance of performance for the high traffic, high scale websites. And we did a test of Nuxt performance this week in our team, and we did it on the Hello World page, right? So that's without image, just text, and the Nuxt 2 was failing after 50 users on the page by default.
Wow.
So yeah, and Nuxt 3 was a way better. It was stable after the very high traffic, but Nuxt 2 on the Hello World level was already failing with 50 users. So even if it doesn't have image, that's a huge score until it can handle a load. But that's why we need to measure. We need to measure stuff because we don't know a lot of things. But yeah, congrats, Dennis, on this score. And two more things. One is the interview with Nurhak shared by Great State Company. Some questions to one of the recent MVPs on how it all started, what it means to be an MVP for him and for his company. I'm really happy with seeing this kind of articles because it also remembers everyone basically why it's worth to maybe share more, do more, and Nurhak is also going through the 30 days of code challenge now. So if I'm correct, it's 27th or 28th day when he's sharing on Twitter the whole journey on what he has done with Umbraco and web development and everything else. So yeah, we'll definitely celebrate the date number 30 on the next week's episode. But that's great to hear and see what it means for him to be an MVP. And last but not least, Umbraco Learning Base, a channel created by Umbraco with 976 subscribers already, has a couple new videos. I didn't want to focus on one of the specific ones, but there's a video about how to upgrade Umbraco Cloud website. But there's also a video on how to install Umbraco using Visual Studio, Nougat, and everything else. So these videos already has some views. So it means that people are really following. They're really interested in the tutorials, and Umbraco is doing an amazing job in releasing them. You can see the activity, 1 day ago, 4 days ago, 8 days ago. So they're still coming. So I assume we'll have and expect more, which is always good. Again, Paul's videos, Umbraco's videos, and more.
That will take over for Umbraco TV, yeah.
Yes, that's exactly the Umbraco TV replacement. And now at least we also have a new Umbraco exposed more. So these tutorials are not about Umbraco 7 or 6 or even other versions. It's purely new content. So that's good. And that's all what we wanted to mention today. If we missed anything, that's as usually a huge favor and question to all of you to let us know about it. Lars, do you want to add anything else from your side?
No, I'm quite happy. I had fun. It was exciting to do an all Norwegian umbraCoffee.
Yeah, as I've said, I'm half Norwegian now, so that was a pure pleasure. Also, Lars-Erik, to be here with you to spend some time with people in this community, and it's not the last time for sure. People do meet up with people, even if it's 2 or 3 Umbraco interested geeks around you. It's beneficial for us all. And yeah, keep us busy with content for the next episodes. Yeah, I'm sure we'll be back next week with the great content. And thanks, Lars-Erik, again for joining me today in the Callum's replacement. Have a lovely rest of the day and the weekend. And thank you, everyone, for watching. Subscribe, like, follow Lars-Erik on Twitter, and just stay active. Have a good day. Cheers, everyone.
Bye, everyone.